I think from time to time we all like to play with Photoshop filters, or even some of the third-party filters that we can purchase and add on. Most of the time I feel that those filters work best when we've got a big bold subject, an uncluttered subject. Images with lots of fine detail tend not to work so well with filters. So we seem to have the perfect example here with our glassware. Big bold shapes, and one of the filter systems that seems to work particularly well is the flood filter made by Flaming Pear. So the flood filter is going to give us that lovely water effect on the base of the image, but we need to create some canvas for the filter to work. I'm going to go to my image menu, select canvas size. I'm going to click the top square here to anchor the image to the top of any new canvas I add, and I'm not sure what height I actually need. I'll crop back what I don't want later, but I know for certain I'm going to want probably twice the original height, so let's just put in there 3600. It's going to take on the background color. If you look down here you can see the blue, you can see it's the blue in the background of the color picker. It's not important what we select. In fact, just for this demo I'll just let it appear as blue. Hitting Ctrl 0, you can see what I mean when we look at the glass on top now and the colored base below. So now we can get the filter, Flaming Pear Flood. We get to choose where the flood starts, and we've got a number of settings. The top one is the horizon. If I move it to the left, you can see how we can affect the image. You can adjust the values here. Sometimes in critical situations I often do that. Here you can see if I go to 50, a little bit too much, maybe 52. Am I seeing a little bit of blue there? Well, it doesn't really matter too much. If I apply the filter and I don't think I've got it quite right, then I can always undo and come back. I've got the opportunity down here to adjust the complexity of the reflection, and there's so many different variations here. It's going to be purely personal choice. We have lots of others that you can play around with, but basically it's pretty simple to apply. Only takes a few seconds to apply. Here I've got an image about 3000 pixels by about 3000, something like that I think. So it's quite a large file, but there you can see a pretty neat effect. Now of course we don't have to add extra canvas. We could apply the flood filter to an image like this. Filter, flood, and we just decide where that horizon line is going to be. So I think if I come down too far it'll get confusing because we've got a reflection and we've got water. But I think if I was to choose something along those lines, that would work quite well, and I could make it more or less wavy. You notice when it first came up earlier on we can almost have a mirror image, but we almost had that anyway with the black perspex. So dial in whatever you feel is appropriate. That looks quite interesting. Maybe I'll come up just a little more and click OK, and we'll take a quick look. Now this is being applied to a 20 megapixel image, so you can see it in real time. And remember, this computer I'm working on here certainly isn't state of the art. It's got to be at least 8 years old by now. And the effect is pretty impressive, isn't it? So there we have the flood filter by Flaming Pear. Be careful though, because as nice as filters are, it's quite a thin dividing line between something that's appealing to something that then starts to get a little monotonous.